we're back here in Newton, and I'm going to start addressing these little issues. I got to order the stuff to fix those little trim pieces. So this trim is okay here. I'm able to pull it down a little bit to get to these screws that are coming out. As you can see, that's coming out right here. And this is the only place doing it, on both fronts of the camper. Let's go ahead and take these screws out. Okay, so this is the issue. They didn't work loose. They sheared off. These screws sheared off. So I'm gonna have to get those out. Yeah, look how this is coming out. It's literally completely angled. And it may all be related to the fact that they didn't do a good job of attaching these bolts initially on this box to the frame. Who knows? Typical Rockwood crap. This is the third one down. The fourth one down turns. See how the fifth one is. The fifth one seems okay too. Those two will turn. This is like, yeah, that one's in there good. I'm not going to screw with it. It seems to be in there good, although it's clearly going to shear off at some point. Maybe I should go ahead and deal with it. These are all screwed up. This whole thing is shifted, and that's what's happening, is it's shearing these off. So yeah, I am finally to here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one was able to come loose. They are the normal full length. So the two that I've gotten out so far are literally sheared off. So all these really need replaced. Rockwood crap isn't designed to last. When you buy this camper, find out what the payments are for 5 years so that you can have it paid off before you haul it to the dump. Because this thing might last you 5 years. I'm really getting worried about things like that. That's structural. That's really concerning. I'm gonna fix it, but who's to say where this problem's going to lead? I really think it's all attributed to the fact that they didn't deal with the bolts correctly to hold this whole box onto the frame in the first place. I really think it's all connected to that. That's the first thing you want to check. I think I would just do that every trip. I would maybe take them off initially and just Loctite them. Not with that glue, but with the actual Loctite that's for threads. I didn't even have to worry about the old screws because it shifted so much. The old hole was probably right about here, and by putting it straight in, the new hole was right about there. So I just put these in. And I'm doing the final tightening up with a screwdriver. Now I'll just put this back all in. Alright, and I'll come back and caulk this when I'm finished fixing everything else. So let's go take care of the other side. Now this side isn't as bad, but it is coming out. So maybe these screws won't be destroyed. Go ahead and pop this out. And you can basically get to that. Go back a little bit so I can check it all. Let's first take the screwdriver. Let's see how things feel here. Oh yeah, this is loose. So is it going to be busted off? It's busted off. Let's check this one. Now that one's okay. That's a good sign. Next one. Maybe these been busted off, and this material is pretty stout. When you screw into this, it's not like the rest of the wood on this thing that you could just, you know, strip out the wood. Maybe they didn't shear off from driving down the road. Maybe they were sheared off from the idiots putting together at the factory because they put them in too tight. So I've taken off 3 so far, and those are good. Let me take this one off in the front. So far only 1 was busted, and I've gone back 1, 2, 3, 4. Go back a little further, it won't hurt. We're gonna just check them all. It's okay. So I'm gonna not take that one out the rest of the way because it's okay and it doesn't look like it's in crooked. Out of 6 that I pulled, only 1 was busted on this side. So much better than the other, and you can kind of see that by that. So yeah, there's not one back there. All right, put this all back in. So there we go. I do need to caulk that still, but it's not going anywhere now. So I'll recalk that once I get to that point. So this is back together. Now I'll go in and order my stripping, and I'll see you in a couple days. All right, I got this piece removed. It's 7/8 trim. It's this stuff right here. Got it on Amazon. This is like 50 foot for 20 bucks. So it's not real expensive. You can find it on my page, thejohnnyoshow.com/promotions, and it's like 20 bucks for 50 feet. Remove the screw on each one. Then you just have to get rid of all the gook that's holding it on this side, and then it'll just slide off. And that's it. So yeah, it just clips on like this, and then screws in, and then they caulk the heck out of it. That's all they do. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the remaining ones off. You wanna get all this crap off, clean it all up, and then we'll put the new trim in. Anyway, I'm just going through and just testing to make sure these are all fairly tight, being I have this off anyway. Might as well just check them. Now, if you have the old trim in, you'll be able to see which way these go, but you got these 2 little ears sticking out here. You want those to actually be out, not like this, but like this. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it started. I just keep my other roll over there, and then I'm gonna just run it along, and once I get to the end, I'll just snip it off. Alright, so I cut that a little long. Let me just trim it off. Alright, so there's one. Now, let's put the next one in. There we go. Alright, so now we take this, and it just catches in the end, like so. Push it up and put the screw in. And when you get this in the right spot, you don't even have to try. You'll find the original screw hole. It'll just go in. It all lines up, and just snug this thing down. And that was a 50-foot roll, and as you can see, I got a ton of it left. Alright, so now as soon as I get the caulk, I can finish it up. So those are all finished. That is finished. This side didn't quite pull a snug, but is snugger than it was. So that, and just 3 screws that had just come a little loose on the drawers are the only things I had to fix. I was using originally liquid nail, and that dries hard and then starts to crack with the motion, so liquid nail doesn't work good. So liquid nail is not good for this kind of application, so I switched to Loctite Extreme Glue. I've had real good luck with this. I've really been happy with it. I've tried Gorilla Glue and I didn't like it so much, and I've always gone back to liquid nail. because it just works. But liquid nail isn't clear, for one thing, and it also will dry, and under motion it seems to crack, which I never had an issue before because I never used it on a camper. But for example, when we first got this camper, Robin, because she's blind, or she can't, you know, legally blind, she didn't realize what she was grabbing and she busted part of the screen. So I used this on there. It was busted right here. This little thing that fits in this little area here got broken. And so I pulled this screen loose and re-glued this with this Loctite. And I mean, it's like, it's not going anywhere. It's solid, beyond belief solid. It's good. Another thing I fixed, which you can kind of see, is this got ruined in my tool chest. And I just put some Loctite on it. You can see that. It sealed this thing up and sealed it good, and it's, again, solid. This is not like crap super glue that doesn't hold anything. It really does hold really, really well. All right. Well, we had a chance to try the cigarette lighter thing, and this is why you should get the automotive type fuse things if you're going to want to run even 5 amps through here. We plugged in a compressor in it to air up one of the spare tires we stuck on the camper, and the 5 amp fuse that I put on the line didn't blow, but the holder for the fuse melted. This melted with the 5 amp fuse in it, so these can't handle much. So I've got a new one here. Now I'm going to reattach this one with a 3 amp fuse. I put a 3 amp fuse in this one. Hopefully, I mean, I don't need a lot of current for what I'm using this for. 3 amps is enough. I just figured you've got two 2 amp sockets. I figured it'd be better to have a 5 amp fuse so that I could actually use 2 amps off each at the same time. But that's not going to happen. Not with these guys. But this is all I have. I'm going to just settle with 3 amps. We'll try 3 amps, see if that melts. But these little things can't handle, apparently, 5 amps. They melt. Alright, so I'm going to change that out. It's working once again. So, don't use those same kind of fuse holders that I used, because you probably really do want like a 5 amp in there. I didn't know if this will handle 3 amps. I mean, it melted before the fuse blew at 5 amps. So, they're kind of weak. So you definitely want to, maybe get the one that used the automotive fuses. It might be a better option.